As we've been going through the book of John, the Gospel of John, in our 5-minute devotionals, we're getting to the part that it's kind of the dark part. When Jesus is nearing the end of his earthly ministry. So we'll pick it up in John chapter 19, verses 1 through 7. So Pilate took Jesus and had him flogged. And the soldiers twisted together a crown of thorns and placed it on his head and put a purple cloak on him. And they repeatedly came up to him and said, "Hail, King of the Jews," and slapped him in the face again and again. And then Pilate came out again and said to them, "See, I am bringing him out to you so that you will know that I find no grounds at all for charges in his case." Jesus then came out wearing the crown of thorns and the purple robe. And Pilate said to them, "Behold the man." So when the chief priests and the officers saw him, they shouted, saying, "Crucify, crucify." Pilate said to them, "Take him yourselves and crucify him, for I find no grounds for charges in his case." The Jews answered him, "We have a law, and by that law he ought to die, because he made himself out to be the Son of God." So today, at least when I'm recording this, is Epiphany, which is a very different holiday or season than when we would usually read a passage like this. But there's a way in which I think it's strangely appropriate. So Epiphany, part of Epiphany is thinking about the Magi coming, seeking the King, and finding him as a little guy. But here, at the end of the Gospels, we see a different image of a king. We see this king being mocked and dressed up like a king and beaten and having this crown of thorns, which would have been very painful. And it seems like a cruel joke, and in many ways it is. But I think it also really shows us the nature of Jesus, the true King. That he wasn't a king like we imagine, to abuse power or to make himself self-important, but to go through suffering that he could have gotten out of at any time. And we'll see how he suffered for us, and that's what a lot of the New Testament is about. But I just want to address this issue of suffering and why God allows suffering. It's a big question, and it's a worthy question, and it's one that I'm sure most of us have thought about and wrestled with, and there are different answers that people come up with. And instead of going over any of those answers, I just want to point out that the true King himself suffered when he didn't have to. That whatever we are going through, he also suffered for us and with us, and is with us in whatever suffering is happening. So, that's the nature of the true King. Not one who is above or too good or insulates himself like so many in earthly power would do, insulate themselves from discomfort even. But no, he is the true King who would be with us in suffering. That he would be able to also bring us to joy and glory with him. Happy Epiphany.